Today we're going to explain something very particular that, involve the National Association of Food Flavor Associations. We're gonna explain the first element of the people. When I go to the restaurant and say, oh, glass of water? Yes, glass of water. And some people, it's like, hey, can I have a drink before I start to work? And guess what? You say you go and you give them a drink. A drink could be from many, could be from a cordial, hard liquor, it could be a glass of wine, it could be many things that they request upon to their taste. But these are the first elements. Or bread and butter. Let's say bread and butter. Or when they finish, it's like a dessert to delight the things. They are simple things that they are prime elements on a first instinct. So we're gonna explore the instinct of the people, how you can impress them with the same ingredient, with the simplicity, and brings also the innovation of a flavor, the food captured together. We have this strawberry. A wonderful young lady sits at the tables or a bar and says, ma'am, may I offer you a drink? Can I have a water for you? And you say, well, absolutely, give me a San Pellegrino. And then what you do, you have a San Pellegrino. So this is it's not about the recipe and sophistication, it's about the first impression, how you start to realize that you're changing flavors, you're impressing people. They are simple, basic elements to understand the concept of innovation, not just the recipe on that. So we take this and this is just regular strawberries with the water, and absolutely I hand blender, I brought it to the boil, I put a pinch of sugar inside, make sure I blend it nice. And over here also I have lavender from Locals. I brought the water and make a tea with lavender. I'm gonna bring this little to the boil. And I strain this. I strain it so I do not want to have inside the glumps. I don't want to have inside that period of little chips of a strawberry. I just want to pure the liquid of a strawberry. I let them sit this for about 5 minutes. The concept of this is that it's very important to follow a few procedure, preciseness of chemistry, have the right reaction or the bad reactions. So if we want to play with the chemistry and if we want to give that impression, we also should pay attention to very, very much details of preciseness of measurement. And I would suggest for this to use a pure water, because the pure water is like a neutral. In this point, we're going to put soy lecithin. The soy lecithin doesn't like to have chlorine in the water or any type of hard, harsh things that the water had inside. So as we see, we're going to let this foam and relax right now for about 3 to 4 minutes. We'll create that foam and it stays formed, it stays compact. So as we drink the water, we also have that foam that gives us the impression of a flavor rather than having a pink water. So now I separate that pink with a beautiful capture of foam. So I innovated and I bring that style. They're simple things, simple elements that brings the eye, that brings the pleasure, that brings the comfort of that beautiful lady that asking you a glass of water. It's a simple element, extremely simple, but it's something that makes a beautiful lady in a bar for Valentine's Day. Water with a foam, wow, that's cool. It's as simple it is, but the impression of the style and the flavor brings the happiness. Now we're changing, we're offering for next generation a style of innovation on our procedure that we're going to go forward with many things. So we leave this over here. We take this lavender and we do the same. Another person that asked the same thing, but instead they want a lavender. So now we're exploring. As you see. So now somebody may ask and says, but chef, how can I afford to do this every second of the, of the time that the customers, ask for? That's the beauty of this. The activation of a juice have so much, citric, the citric acidity and glucosiums that mix together with the soy lecithin. He said that every time you put that blender, they reactivate it exactly as you do it before, after you take the foam. And you can keep it up to easily 2 to 3 days in and out of refrigerator. Actually, you put them in a refrigerator, you whip it, become even better. I have 2 water. This is a experiment that you do, and you can have that beautiful foam right on top of the water, and you can still drink it and it stays there. It doesn't quickly evaporate. It brings that flavor. It brings that beautiful flavor that somebody can ask and says, wow, San Pellegrino with a strawberry foam goes very well. This is a lavender foam. As you see it on a spoon, you can put them right in the water. And you can do it again and again and again. So you have a 2 beautiful glasses of water with 2 foams firmly. Do not move. So now we went from a traditional procedure with a flavor, we're capturing very well in a style, in a fashion, in a flavor. 2 elements that are so easy to be done. But you become innovative, you move forward, and you give that flavor. I'm gonna show you that the butter. The people thinks that, you see the butter, you go, you buy it, you cut a chunk, and you think that the butter that's what it is. But the butter actually comes from, a cream. This is a simple cream, locally cream, that I get it from a farmer. If you bring this cream to the peak, when I say to the peak, you whip it. And if you exhaust this and you separate the water, what happened? Lactate separates. The calcium lactate separates and separate the water from the cream. And before you know, you're gonna see the butter forming himself. It's elements that by exhaustions is the same thing as the butter, what you see in the store. It's made with the same product. But right now we're gonna capture this product in a different way. As I'm doing this heavy cream over here, I'm gonna bring it to the soft peak. And I'm gonna use another ingredient which is called a country culture cream, which is local, what I use it over here. Any, local farmers or even a store, they have it, which is a base of the same made by the heavy cream, but it's more like a spread. It's more like a Philadelphia cheese, I would say it, but it's not Philadelphia cheese. This is the beauty of this, you have to have a little bit of workout on this. On the water over here, I want to show you that one bottle of water. Over here I have alginate. Alginate doesn't have no reaction but encapsulating the product. We have to make sure to mix it well because it creates the grooms. We have the beautiful heavy cream. I prefer 40% because it's creamier. It's more near to the butter, which is better for this procedure to create this butter, which I call them a molecular deconstructed butter. I call them molecular butter actually, that I put them and serve every night here at Momentos in my restaurants. But I would tell you that what's interesting on this is I have here the country culture cream. Put them together. The way they emerge with each other, the way they, connect with each other, is they blend the flavor of country cream. It's heavier, it's more buttery, and the whipped cream is more lighter in this binding, in this marriage together. But they create a beautiful, a buttery, real butter flavor, but lighter. If I have a block of butter and I cut it with the hands and I put them on top of the piece of bread, you're gonna feel that heaviness of a grease, of a butter, that you will limit yourself, saying, oh, I had enough, I have a little bit on this. Or you know what, I don't want a butter. So I taken that and I multiplied it at 10 times lighter, but the same flavor, beautiful flavor. It's a very active molecular bacteria that evaporates every second that we talk, or every minute. So what I want to do, I want to capture, I want to isolate this, I want to make sure that it doesn't go nowhere. Stays there, the flavor. Stays there, the compact of, it doesn't evaporate. I want to isolate it with a calcium lactate. And I put the calcium lactate inside. So once I did that, I secure myself. Now I have two products that create a butter, molecular butter, but the flavor stays there. Now I guarantee myself that it's not evaporating. It doesn't interfere with the live moleculars that we have in the air because it's a capture inside. Lactates capture it inside and doesn't allow fermentation of this now. In this point, this bath that we create over here, this bath, not only this bath gonna create that, not only lactate captured it, but now this is gonna make sure that when you create a sphere, when you create a ball on that to present it, you're gonna make sure that it guarantees you the isolation of the form that you give them, and not disintegration of that when you present it. I use a ice cream scooper for this, and I put them right there. I create these little balls. It's very easy to be done. What we're talking today, we're talking about basics of a very simple request that in our instinct, in our motion, we automatically requesting to be provided on our service. And as we provide, so now we provide these for many, many years, but now we are in a stage, our generation, that we can pleasure our eye, we can pleasure our flavors with a different innovation. That's what the food flavors, and then the fashion and styles that come with that. After a minute or so, I flip this from the other side. I leave for about a minute from this side too, and we wash it on regular water, which is the pure water with that. As we speak with this right now, we have this ready to take them out. I create a butter. Then when I present it, I make sure this is a encapsulated, or I would say it, I capture the butter. And it will be great, whoever does it, to use Himalayan salt. A touch of Himalayan salt, the creaminess of that is impeccable, but when you put it in your mouth, it has this lightness. It's very light. Very light is like an air. I capture the same flavors without exhausting the prime ingredient, which is heavy cream. Because if I was exhausting and separating it, it would become a butter, lump of butter. But I capture it together. So that liquid of the creams turn with the lactate, turn to a air inside, and the flavor stays the same, exactly like butter. So that is one of the ingredients that you can absolutely give to the customers as a impressive or a style of one of the elements, which is a butter, bread and butter. We have here some, I would say, late summer, early fall, mixed fruits. Some pears, some figs, some blueberries. So there used to be this concept in our restaurants that I remember. It was to be like, oh my God, I want a ice cream machine. I want to do the gelato. I want to do ice cream at the restaurants. But either for a tradition or for ego or for you fanatic professional instincts, you want that machine, you want to make it there, you want to show the people that you make the ice cream in a store. But it comes with a price. It comes with some elements that if you think deeply, it kind of frustrates you during the day, putting it apart, machine every day, and a regulation that health code and department gives you, even though sometimes not necessary, it will put you down a little bit. So it pushes the people to innovate themselves. It pushes the people to bring some different fashion and style to make it easy and to make it more personable, to make it more variety of flavors. So in this point, I can make ice cream with a liquid nitrogen with any kind of flavor I want on the side of the people, very safe, quickly, and with no many hassles. So that's what brings the innovation, evolution, that pushes the people to invent, to style, to bring the flavors better, quicker, faster in front of you. So I have this beautiful over here, a copper pen, heavy cream, absolutely. I have fruits, you can put them over here, straight. I have a sugar. Condensed milk. And a little bit of vanilla. We're gonna do this beautiful ice cream with this. My colleagues over here is gonna help me slowly and steady. And we're gonna do this beautiful ice cream. This is the beauty of innovation and the flavors. You can do the flavor when you want, how you want, instant with no much stress, using a beautiful liquid nitrogen, and you create this beautiful ice cream. Now I have this beautiful ice creams, as you see, made already with the fresh fruits in a matter of 1 second. Now let's go back and we're talking about why we do this. That's why we reinvent ourselves, for the purpose of a service, styles, fashion, flavor, and convenience, quick. So we surround ourselves with such a style that we can service ourselves with a flavor without touching or cutting corners of what we had before. Simple ice cream that you make unbelievably with the fresh fruits. One of the innovative and one of the I would say inventors of this modern cuisine and modern molecular. It was is a, that I admire a lot. The grand chef André Ferran and Jose Andres and coming to the modern days Willie the Friends and many others of them. So we learned from them. They were the activators of this modern cuisine, or science cuisine, I will call it. Now we go from the other part, from the other side of our because when you come to the style and fashion, you become always curious. Curiosity pushes you, actually, sometimes pushes you that now you want to accommodate the people on a certain style, on certain fashions. And this is a simple edible flower. You make this edible flower on your, capturing your eye, capturing your style, and you also can put them right there and crumbles very well. It's edible flowers. This is the curiosity, that inventions that we try to propose to the new generation, to innovate, to keep our style where we had it, but we can put them up there as a style, as a fashion. That's the beauty of our field that we have. So as you present to the young lady or to the gentleman this ice cream, the instinct of the people is always after drinking. What are we going to do after drinking? And you go there and you have this beautiful after drinking, and the curiosity always, anybody can take this and pour it. Anybody can do that. You find it everywhere. But you want to distinguish yourself. You want to come up to this surface of innovation and style so you can make it experience for the people. Some people ask, I want this big ice, macho, beautiful, the biggest ice cube you have over there. But as soon as you ice cube, you put them over there, there are two elements. It dilutes the drinks, take the flavors away, and you're never gonna have it the same. But this liquid nitrogen that I inspire the chefs to do, it chills the glass very well without diluting you after drink. And also, it makes it memorable for you when you go to pour it. So you have ice cream and after drink on a basic style, fashion, flavor. And you bring some innovation on a thinking. And you bring some, and it's nice and cold. And you don't have that ice to interrupt or take away your drink. That is the beauty. This is something that a bartender would be proud of. And it's nice and cold. And obviously, it's safe. You can drink it. I try to capture the concept of the flavors that we put together with a little bit innovation, style, that create that wow, that evolution that we're looking for, that presentation, that continuation probably from years to come. This is Chef Nicola from Momento's Restaurants in Strasbourg. Any questions, please. We are not the best. We do the best we can on our possibilities. I would be more than happy to share this with any young innovator who want to explore, want to learn, because it's a cool thing that we all together doing something that helps our industry, that satisfy our appetites, on a fashion, on a style, on a palette, on a flavor, and we will be able to do it. So until to the next, thank you from Chef Nicola.